Oh, now, if you're not already smiling, you're lying, because it's excellent here. Excellent here. It's a great place. It's what is it? Saturday afternoon. Sorry, Leon. Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to be 5 whole minutes late. That is bad. That is bad. I will admit that. Oh, announcement. Special announcement. Oh, what's that? You've been going to the gym, Chris? Yeah, might have done. Might have done. We should do a bit of that. Why do they do that? I don't know why they do that. It looks like a. You all right, son? You doing all right, son? Yeah, not bad. So gay. There is a what is it? There is a connection with how many bench presses you do. What this is the equation: the amount of bench presses you do divided by the amount of times you don't exercise your legs equals the amount of times you look in the mirror that day. It's a funny old thing. Look at that. Lulu, hello, my love. It's Friday evening and it's 33 degrees. Shall I tell you something? It's Friday evening here and it's 30 degrees. It's hotter where you are, but you are living in my world. Yeah. This is what it's like here all the fucking time. I mean, this is cool. This is cool for here. But it's nice, though, isn't it? Oh, inquisitive Billy! Why I've got to thank Billy for something wonderful. Maybe two things. The first thing I've got to thank Billy for is that article he sent me about smelling other women's poo. Remember that? It's hard to forget because that was a good call. But there's something else, Bill. There's something else you've done, said, suggested, or something, and I need to thank you. I was actually gonna. I nearly put it on. I can't remember what it was though. So I'm not going to thank you until I know why. But the poo smelling article. Sorry about that, people. I've just literally poured a bowl of cornflakes into my face. Keys to the Kingdom is out right. We are hotter. We're hotter. There you go. But no, I'm not joking because it makes a nice little video. When I continue to read it, you know, it opens with such unpleasant gusto. You think it's going to go downhill, but oh no, it's like a Russian doll of disgust. It's like just the things that are confessed, the things that are confessed in that article are incredible. But there was something else. There was something else that I can't remember what it is. Maybe I'll remember. Anyway, hello Marzipan, how are you, son? No, always late. Oh, hello mate. 42 says, was it changed the format and content? Well, you know, I always try. I changed I changed it once, remember, when I fell asleep. Baz says, sorry, catch you later. It is often too impredicable. I don't know what that word means. Let's learn a new word. Impredicable. Here we go, new word. Always up for new words. That isn't one. I'm not up for them. So I'm not up for such new words that they don't exist, though. Sorry about that. Martin has dropped 5 big ones. A Friday Lady Godiva for your travails. Well, merci beaucoup. I mean, we could do the rest of the stream en français. If you wish. Malheureusement. Lumi, are you here? What does malheureusement mean? Malheureusement. What a lovely word. Malheureusement. Malheureusement. It'd be weird that I know it. I don't know. Thank you, Martin. That's very kind. An early donation gets the old grift blood flowing. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, yes, people like it. They appreciate it. I know people do anyway, but, you know, a few quid is always, you know, you cross a man's palm with silver, spunked in his hand, spunk. Oh, talking about Tourette's, I've got a little bit of Tourette's. I'll wait for some more people to turn up because I'll show you that a bit later. Thank you, Martin. Billy, niggling, curious, inquisitive Bill says, "Oh, really? Humans are amazing, aren't they? Oh, really? Oh, really? I tried to encourage you to start working out and some other things." I've given you so many suggestions. I can't remember right now myself. I have to play pool, so I might just be lurking for the rest of this, unfortunately. What? I don't know about that, Bill. I don't. What have you got like headphones in? Are you socialising with other real life humans, but are actually here? Oh, I quite like that though. I appreciate the dedication to the calls. Hello, Andrew. Look at Andrew. When I see Andrew's avatar, I usually think it's time to wrap it up. Good to see you. Oh, look, he said it as well. Look, not late this time. Hello, Andrew. Good to see you. Rags, 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 rags. Yeah, that one didn't go anywhere, did it? But there's something nice about that. Something familiar and reliable. That was 3 words there when I went familiar and reliable. But it was. Look at Albert. He's back on the live one. Well, it is nearly 2 a.m. here. Mrs. is out with friends. Well, she's in with friends. All right. So I eat a lot of what my missus cooks. I've got, over the years, my palate has adjusted to some quite unpleasant things. Now, a lot of it is gorgeous, lovely. Are you allowed to say exotic? I hope not. Exotic. And great food, But today she went and bought a couple of red snappers because we had red snapper last week, and they're cheap as chips out here. Fish and cheap as chips. Agamemnon, and she brought them back and she started gutting them, and she went, "Nah." She went, "They're gone. They're finished. So they're in the bin. I've got to take that out tonight. If you leave them there now, by morning, those fish will be half gone. Yeah, they'd have been eaten by it. There'll either be a million ants around the bag or maggots." So then she went back up there and come back. I said, "So what we having instead? Did you get some more?" She said, "No, I didn't." And she said she picked a couple up and give them to him, and he put them down and give her some different ones. I said, "Yeah, that's when you should have said no, the one I picked." Which pissed me off a bit, because if I'd have been there, I'd have said, no. The ones I've checked, not the stinkers you've just got out of the bag under the table that's been there since last century. So she's made this dish that was going to be like a spicy, not spicy, that's the wrong word, traditional Cambodian Vart. Martin didn't get a Vart either. I've got a Vart Mart. Before I address that one, I've got... Oh my gosh! Well, hang on, shush! Oh, hang on. Before I address that, what? Wait! Oh, stop it! Cease. Well, that was a little bit of impromptu LSDJ, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. There is a special announcement coming tonight. I don't know what I don't make, but I don't make them. I'm losing my mind here. Oh, how obvious was it that I'd had a jazz cigarette or 5? I did play it down a bit. I was smashed at that party. Absolutely, it was really weird as well. Unsurprising, but I ended up talking to this old fella. Fucking hell. He couldn't hear. He was deaf as a post, so I had to shout at him. So I just gave up in the end, which means he talks to me. I was like, great. Martin, is your vartation? Oh, that was an absolute liberty. Let me turn this up. I'm even going to put the speaker near the mic for an ultra vart. Whoa, that ain't... There you go. That's better. Right, there you go. There is actually an announcement, a very exciting announcement. I have got something to tell you, and it's not something like that I've just made up that tomorrow I'll go, not really, I was out of my head. It's actually a thing that I think a lot of you, probably all of you, I'd assume all of you, are going to be like, oh, good. That's good. It's a good thing. And it's not any major changes or anything, but I think let's get a bit of light on this. I mean, it's a bit better if you can see me. Well, I assume it is. Let's hope so. It is an audio visual. That's a little bit better, isn't it? It's nice and cozy, though, isn't it? Nice to see you, though, Mr. Albatross. Inquisitive, niggling Bill, who's told me to do loads of things, has also said this. This is another thing he said. This. He said, I play pool with the headphones in because the fuckers I play try to put me off by making noises, whistling, and saying stupid things. I find I can get in the zone if I have some good music in my ears. It's a bit unsocial, though, isn't it, Bill? Playing pool? Nice one on the Lady Godiva, but I'm just imagining you meet up with your mates. Oh, a couple of jars. Do you want a game of pool? Yes, certainly. And I suppose you're in a boozer, unless it's like a pool table in your mate's garage. I don't know how it works in wherever you are. But, you know, when we get 100 people here, I'll give you the special announcement. And I'll tell you what, it's really good. It's really good. You're going to go, yes. You're going to go, yes, sir. Something like that, anyway. Hello, Toffee. How are you, Toffs? Toff says, Steve Cray, hope you've got good air conditioning. Steve Cray says it never rains. Hello, Planet X. Nice to see you. John Palmer. Rag is on the Amigo stream too. Steve, don't advertise concurrent streams, mate. You'll be losing your spanner quicker than you know, mate. You start doing that. Joking. Hello, Pizzle. Nice to see those all. I tried, it didn't work. Hello, Lee. Hello, Cliff Thorburn. You seem a little different tonight. Now, tonight I'm not stoned at all. But yesterday I was hammered. But I did serious questions. I haven't watched it back. Maybe I should do that. That would probably be the better way. But I certainly realised during the stream that my head cleared a bit. I realised that it sort of petered out a bit towards the end. But if I hadn't have told you at the beginning, if I hadn't have said, look, I've got something you need to know, I don't think I'd have been able to do that. It's, you know, when you're not a stay high, it really affects you. When you smoke weed all the time, it's not like having a biff out of the blue, is it? You know, I was fricked at that party, and the old took home and all that lark was just like, and then my girlfriend bumping into some of her friends in the alley. I was like, I'll see you at home, yeah. But no, I done that interview that was cancelled yesterday. I've done that tonight, so that's on a Substack podcast. I'll share that with people who subscribe to my Substack. Link in the description. Had about 60 new subscribers over the last few days, just from trolling the writer's shout out. What a treat! Saying just not using it for what it's for, and people have because it's dull as fuck. Everyone's so oh hi, what a great community. It's really helpful with all writers helping each other. Hey, what's it like when you can't write something? Anyway, my Substack's here. Here's a link. Click it, please. And it's like, so I just started taking the piss a little bit because I was stoned. And I'm going to do it every time. And when I spoke to the bloke who interviewed me tonight, I mentioned to him, I said, well, weirdly, on the last shout out thread, he said, I saw it. He said, I saw it. And I was like, yeah. It was hard to miss. I left about 1,000 comments. 22, 23. Keys to the Kingdom says, I have caressed the like thumb. Nice one. Hello, Quadders. Nice to see thee. All right, Dennis. Good to see Dan. Hoax is on the firm. Vincent's in. He's got 3 streams at the same time. Me, Sensum, and Trump. 45 is live RSBN. I can't watch all 3. You don't need to. The decision's already been made for you. Yeah. So anyway, right, Casa calling. If you don't smoke and you have a few tokes on a 20+% THC biff, yeah, it was amnesia flash, not amnesia haze. I think I said just the amnesia flash. Oh no, it's around 24%. I was smashed. I smoked 2 whole bits to myself. So I think you're right, Bill. I think you're right. Well, it's a different thing, isn't it? Like anything, booze is better if you're not an alcoholic. If you can have a few gin and tonics with a lady in a nice colonial setting, it's wonderful. But if you have to wake up and have half a bottle of vodka before you shit your pants, it kind of loses its attraction. But there you go. Hello, Glenn. There you go, Cliff Thorburn and Billy at the pool. Bill, thanks for the donation, mate. Much appreciated. When I remember what I wanted to thank you for, thou shall be thanked, which is a nice thing to do. I'm just seeing if I've sent out all my not invites, telling people that this is actually going. That one. I think I have. Yep. Entropy is good. All right. What else we got? John Palmer says, I'm guessing the new Three Stooges is well, that would be an announcement of sorts, wouldn't it? I'd give you that. It's a good guess. Toffee says it was a good stream last night. Someone emailed me and said it was the best stream in ages. And I was thinking, hang on. Hang on a minute. Excuse me. Hello, Colt Python. Lulu didn't think I was that bad. Well, I hope you mean bad as in not obviously stoned, but I certainly felt it. I certainly felt stoned. I wouldn't have liked to have had to deceive in that condition. Now I wouldn't here anyway, Well, I'd hope I wouldn't. I think I did with the diazepam, but I think I gave the game away with behaviour. This is an interesting question, you saying that. How's the Cambo reel doing? Well, listen to this. This is interesting. Out here, you can spend American dollars or Cambodian riel, right? And up until about 3 months ago, I'd usually spend dollars because riel, this is 500 riel, and that's worth about 10 pence. 500 riel, 10 pence. Something like that. I think so. Hang on. 1,000 riel is 25 cents. 12.5 cents, 500 riel is. So, for small things like tuk-tuks, 4,000 riel, no problem. But if you want to spend 30 quid, if you're going to try and do it in riel, it's a carrier bag. Now, the government said they were going to take $5, which is weird because everything's $5, as you know, in Cambodia. And no, it's another good guess, but there's no bun in the oven. No, not that I know of. I mean, she's running a little bit late, but every month she runs a little bit late, and we all get excited. By that, I mean terrified. So they said they were going to take the $5 out of circulation, and my missus couldn't understand it. And I said, because they don't want people spending dollars. They want their own currency. It makes sense. And I didn't really notice the fivers disappear, but you can pretty much pay for anything anywhere using ABA Bank on your phone. You can even get money out of a cash point using your phone over here. I don't know if that's something they do in England. I haven't been there for so long. But you can even, when you book your tuk-tuk on your phone, it pays automatically. And so I don't carry cards or cash with me hardly ever anymore because you just don't need it, right? I understand there's issues with that, but I'm just giving you the situation. Now, every time I've gone to get cash out of an ATM over the last 3 months, first thing it does is offer you real. You have to change it to dollars. It used to be dollars and you had to change it to real. It's all real now. If you change it to dollars, it says notes available, $100. You can't get 5, 10, 20, 50. You can only get $100 out. So I think they're doing a real push on wanting people to spend real. It's I don't know anywhere near enough about economics to understand why. I'd have a punt that it's a cultural thing because I don't want to use a particular word, but states of a hugely dominant ethnicity tend to be very proud of that and wish to maintain it. So there's almost certainly an element of that there. But there we go. The only stream on the internet where the sex bots are actual members. Nice to see you, Naked HD. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Mirth Baron. What's that here? Interesting. Denny says people are moving away from America. Quick style could be that. Oh, I'll tell you what. This is only for entertainment purposes only, right? But the S&P is flattened out. Amazon, Tesla. I always talk about indexes. I'm not a professional. This is just entertainment. This is just me, right? PayPal, Amazon, Tesla, Google, Apple. They're all plummeted. They're fucking bottoming out. Now, will they go further down? Maybe, probably. Don't bother trying to time it. But this stock market crashes are where millions are made. Seriously. Some massive companies are down like 70, 80%. Any shrapnel I get, I'm chucking it on shares. Indexes mainly, S&P. The S&P is like at something like a 30-year low or something. Just throw it on it. Just throw anything you've got on it. Here's why. Because it always comes back. It always comes back. And if it doesn't come back, that money in your bank or under your bed ain't going to be worth anything anyway. That's a fact. If the market doesn't recover like it always does and always has, that will be the least of your problems, having a bit of money. You'll be burning that to keep yourself warm. So I am telling you, now is the time. I'm not telling you, I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm literally talking tenner, 15, 20 quid here and there. Anything I can afford. Bosh, S&P 500 utilities. Bosh, a bit on here, a bit on here. If you can hold that out for 10 years, absolutely. Liam saying throw it on indexes, not companies. Markets recover, companies often don't. Well, yeah, but you're looking at some big companies there, though, aren't you? I would say this: the indexes will recover, and yes, there's a chance that the companies won't. But when you're looking at Amazon, look at how much their year-on-year growth. Look at the size of those companies. But yeah. I would. I'm not a professional. The money, your investments can go down as well as up. And this isn't trading. I'm not saying put it all in and take it out next week. You want to put it in and forget about it. Only look at your broker when you want to put another 20, 30, 100 quid in or whatever. And just give it 5, 10 years and you'll be reaping the rewards. Hello, Kevin. Bitcoin is way down. Bitcoin's another one, though. I reckon Bitcoin's worth a punt. Bitcoin's down just because the markets are down. That just makes sense. Everyone panics. This always happens. And, people are talking about buying guns. Good gosh. Right, hang on. Vincent is saying this. Brand is a pedo. Vincent, is this actual stuff you've seen on the news? Because I don't want to get in trouble. Brand is a pedo. Can anyone else confirm this has come out? I'm not suggesting you're making it up, Vincent. I just need a little bit of social proof. Hello, Joshua. Brand is on. Where is it? Brand is a pedo. groping little girls on GMTV. Did anyone else see that? What site is used for indexes? Well, I'm on FREETRADE, and to be honest with you, most of the decent ETFs aren't on there. But there are loads of S&P 500s. I mean, are you UK or America or where? But if you're UK, just get FREETRADE and then just S&P it. Email me and I can point you in the right direction. But you can get pretty good S&P trackers on FREETRADE. You know, even if it's like 500 quid, forget about it for 10 years and you'll be like, oh, where did that fucking $6,000 come from? Tax free. Well, you need a way of buying it. So you need something like FREETRADE. Are you in Great Britain? So did anyone else hear? John Palmer says, not GMTV, it was Lorraine. Well, let's see if we can find it, because I've been keeping secrets about the fella, haven't I? Didn't I tell you it was all something was going to come out? Let's excuse the burps. Like I say, I threw a bowl of cornflakes into my head. Let's see if we can find it. Is the show called Lorraine? Let's see. I can't see. If anyone's got a link about, because as soon as I put Russell Brand in, it's just him and YouTube loving him. Can't find anything. Maybe if I put Lorraine in, or if anyone can send me what I can. That's 4 years ago. Let's see if I can find something in the news. Russell Brand. There doesn't seem to be anything in the news. I would have thought if that had come out. I can't believe Russell Brand is shilling Fat Tony's book. Fat Tony's book made it into, I think, the New York bestseller list. That, you know what all those newspaper bestseller lists are? They don't base them on any metrics. See, this is true. They're not based on metrics. They're just based on books they like. That's a fact. That is a fact. John, repost it now so that I can find it right now. So repost it at the bottom of the lifeboat, and I'll grab hold of it now. Hello, Flammer Diddler. Evening, Chris and Scrubs. My 90-year-old nan was robbed of over $1,000 yesterday. What? They got in her house? That's awful. That's awful. Sorry to hear that, Flammer Diddler. Vincent Griffin has sent it to me. Liam ain't buying it, though. 42's told me. Well, let's see. I would have thought I'd have known about this. I would have had phone calls from people, to be honest with you. But let's see. Let's have a look. The computer's been playing up. I'll tell you what, I couldn't have got that new computer soon enough. Today I had to reboot my computer about 5 times, and every time I started it again, it said, we've got to install updates. It took like 2 hours in between every turning it on and off again. But let's have a look at what happened with Lorraine and Russell. Don't forget, when we get 100 people, I'll give you the announcement. Still more people replying to my things on Substack. If you're not subscribed to my Substack, link in the description. Fascinating stories. Martin, it hasn't come through. I haven't got it. It's not there. It is not there. Also, Ozmeister, if you're here, I need your email. Well, actually, I might be able to find it. Martin, I haven't got anything. Maybe it's a bit late or something. Hello, historical doppelganger. Hello, Mousecat. Hot town, summer in the city, back of your neck getting dirt and gritty. Been the back of my sack all dirty and gritty. That's a variation on a classic. Great tune, though, isn't it? Now. Now. Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty. Been down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow on the city. All around the people looking half dead, water in the mountain. Hello, Chrissy. Chrissy, I still haven't donated your teeth fund. Chrissy, send me an email and I'll with your PayPal so I can do that, because otherwise it won't get done. I just keep forgetting. Magic 21, hoi to you. Good to see you. Oh, we were up to 94. We nearly got to, I'm going to look at the lifeboat now. We nearly got to the 100 for the announcement. I like to call it the announcement at 100. But all right, here we go. Okay, right.
He's not actually eligible to vote, so he's not really very helpful for me.
Right, hang on. Vincent, are you sure? I thought this was going to be a story about it's been exposed. No, come on. He's just near some children.
He's not actually eligible.
No, I think it's dangerous to suggest that's paedophilia, because it makes people not feel comfortable around children. What's it? Bill Burr does a brilliant bit about it. He says, I love kids. He says, they're kids, aren't they? They're great. They're exciting. They're funny. He said, but nowadays, he said, like, if I'm on an aeroplane and this little sort of kid walks past and go, oh, I'm ginger too. Bill Burr's like, go away. Don't come near me. He said, I used to say, hey, hello, little Jimmy. He said, no. You can't go near him. We'll have a look at it, but I was expecting a story, and I think this is just a little bit histrionic. It's a little bit, he's being nice to kids. You can't not. Let's have a look and see what the rest of the scrubs think. Maybe we should do it with the audio. I'm not sure if my Telegram audio goes through, so let me know if you've got audio, please, people.
He's not actually eligible to vote, so he's not really very helpful for me. What do you want, darling? He's not actually eligible to vote, so he's not really very helpful.
What do you want, darling?
Nah, that's all right.
He's not actually eligible. To vote. So.
If you don't like Russell Brand, that's fair enough. But I can assure you, there's far more serious reasons not to like him than the fact that his hand was near something of a girl that in 15 years might resemble a tit. But it's your call. 89. We're 10 away from the. Yeah, I think so, Toffee. No, I'm not buying it, but Oh, steady on, Dennis. Calm it. Just reel yourself in a bit. Calm down, son. It's the weekend. Hello, Emma G. Emma G. Yeah, that's the problem I've got with it. 42. It's sort of. It's weird though, isn't it? It's more like men are not safe around children. That's the state. That's where we've got to. Men aren't safe around children. No, we've already had that guess. Right. When we get to 100, but we might not get there. This is peculiar. But if that doesn't happen, hello, Jared. If that doesn't happen, I'll tell you anyway. Hang on, I've got a message. Hang on, let me just answer it. I'm streaming live right now, but yes, obviously I do that, yes. Right, there you go. That was a bit cryptic, wasn't it? Right, I think I've got something to show you, actually. It's quite funny. It's a little livener. I haven't got a lot to talk about, but this will be a call-in. Hello, Loki, on the firm. Eldritch on the firm. Lovely. What else? Planet X. So I'm a cop. That was excellent, though, wasn't it? That I done a check on that when I went. Listen, I am a communist. Always have been. Always will be. And I held that awkward silence for long enough. It was a good one. It was a good one. And because I've got a little bit of communism in my past, It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Hard to do. You know, no one wants to say to a load of people that you like and respect that you've been lying to them and that you've actually been using them. That's hard. You know, I don't like that. Underneath the table, my calf muscles were like solid rock. And I just kept it going. And I was like, no, not really. I am. It's a super duper double bluff. Right, let me show you this little bit I've got here. Now, this is somewhat different to what we were just talking about. Hang on, I've got to get the right bit.
Everyone is exactly the same.
Let me get it to the right bit. It's very peculiar.
This.
Oh, come on, Walshy. Where is it? I thought I had it racked up. Oh, ODYSEE. Oh, there you go. I've screwed it, haven't I? What a shambles. Oh, no, yeah, I've got it. Hang on.
Very young child.
Right, so what we've got here, this is peculiar. This is from the Matt Walsh show. Now, I know we were talking about this years ago, but it's mainstream now. Well done. Thank yourselves and me and all other content creators who were talking about this years ago, because it's now mainstream. Matt Walsh, million odd subscribers, made What Is a Female film, which is absolutely wrecking the libs everywhere. Have a look at this little clip he plays. It's just a transgender person. It's a man with fake tits on running around amongst children, and one of the babies puts a $20, tucks it in the tit, and the grandmother of the child is sort of like, and you're like, I don't know about that. And you know, that's not right. And I had this conversation with a mate the other night. I was saying, why are there drag queens telling people stories? Why? And I told him about what is his name? Oh, what is it? Something like Justin is amazing. John will be suicidal. You know, that little trans sort of that drag queen kid. And my mate said to me, he said, yeah, all right, then, okay, then. But what about the beauty pageants? What about when they dress little girls up like porn stars? He said, see? Wait, what do you mean, see? He said, well, you know, that's the same thing. Just because that's, you know, that's LGBT, that's why you're picking on it. I said, and when have I ever defended beauty pageants? When have I ever said that dressing 4-year-old girls up as porn stars, which is what they do, I've never defended that. They're disgusting. That's pedo city. Now, I reckon that the mothers are, on the whole, innocent of all charges, but it's wrong. You know, those outfits and those hairdos and that makeup is the same as what they do in porn, and that's a problem. And so, you know, I'm not distinguishing between the two. The only difference is pageants have been dying out over the last 20. Beauty pageants have been dying out in America. People have realized that they're very dodgy and something of the past. Whereas this new lark is actually growing. This stuff is on the rise. I think my man Anglo dropped a super char. I might have missed it. There you go. Boom. Nice one. Bonjour. How much have I missed? Well, it's the weekend stream and it's a call-in. When it's a call-in, it means I haven't got anything to say. So I'd essentially say nothing. Nothing at all. But at 100 viewers, we've probably had more than 100 come and go. Oh, I'll get that in. But I've got an announcement I'll make at 100 viewers, and it's very good. It's very good. I think it'll be pleasing. Oh, we just went up to 92. Nice one, Anglo. Thank you very much. Regular and generous supporter. Most of the people who support are regulars, actually, and that's fine. If you can, you can. If you can and you want to, you do. Or if you don't want it, you don't. If you can't, you won't. That's the way it goes. Right. Hello, Frenchie. The establishment will be looking to smear him now. He's getting a bit red-pilled. He is, without a doubt, getting a bit red-pilled, but he's most certainly he's most certainly got some peculiar connections in his life. So I think he's in a bit of a weird position. You know, he's married into the elites, and with his money and his clout, he's in a very strange position because they don't like deserters. And I think that's kind of what's happening. And yet, as I know, there's a lot of stuff to come out about our friend Russell. So that gets put into the cake mix. I mean, it might make Depp Heard look like a sideshow. Pizzle says pedo is 12 and under. Incorrect. Pedo is prepubescent. There's another word for after puberty, and thankfully I don't know what it is. But yeah, I think there would be an element of that, if anything. But there is actual stuff to come out about him. I mean, you're sorry, mate. I'm so sorry. I know what that feels like. Nice one, Packer. I'll vart that up in a minute. Anglo, vart. It's amazing, isn't it? Grown men. I didn't get a vart. The geezer cuts animals up for a living. I didn't get a vart. Cole, yeah, I reckon loads of people went for it. It was well handled. You know, I'm thankfully not that good at it. Did you see how I modified that? I'm not good. Second time, I'm not that good at deception. I've got a few liars chops. And if you want to know about them, check out my Substack. 109 people watching. Here's the announcement. No one leave, because if it goes below 100, I'm not going to announce it. While there's 109 people, please sign up to my Substack. Link in the description. I'm a writer. I've got a novel coming out before Christmas. Oh, shit, I've actually done it. This isn't the announcement, by the way. This is just a bit of marketing. But my Substack has got 16 short stories. One of them's like 1,000 words. 2 of them are 10,000. And you've got everything in between. They've had loads of reads. They've had loads of great comments and feedback. They're really good. And they're stories about my previous life when I was a little gutter snipe, wasn't I? Junkie. So check them out. They're excellent. It does support the channel. And someone said to me, how does people signing up to your free Substack support the channel? Well, here's how. Because you might read my stories. You might like them. You might tell a mate. Your mate might read them and like them. He might start watching the channel. He might buy the novel. He might sign up to my Substack. You know, it's all about branding, not Russell branding, because that's going to come out and be hideous. Right, here is the announcement. So John Palmer guessed it. When I had Toller on the other night, a few people suggested that maybe I should organise a new Three Stooges. So if you don't know what that was, where were you? Where were you in 2018? Good Lord. It was top of the, not the Pops, because that's Savile and Glitter. It was me, the Iconoclast, and On the Offensive. And we had a regular, although somewhat infrequent and not scheduled. So it wasn't like first Thursday of every month. One of us would say to the other two, do you want to do a Three Stooges this weekend? And the other two would go, yeah, all right, or no. And once we all agreed, we'd do one. It was a lot of humour. It was, humour, entertainment, more so than politics. I mean, I don't think Hugh done a single one sober. There were times when he said, don't tell anyone how drunk I am, but I've had like 9 beers. I've been on it since midday. And then he'd come on just shit-faced. And so it was very funny. Dan used to sit in the background with his 200,000 subscribers watching me with, at the time, about 5,000 subscribers, and Hugh arguing about gays being early adopters. That came up quite a lot. But the Three Stooges was good fun. So I had to think about it afterwards. And I thought, well, it might be time for the Three Stooges 2.0. It'll have a new name, though. It won't be like the Three Stooges 2, because that's a bit silly. But I had a little think about it. Now, a few people suggested people in the chat of different people who would make up the other two Stooges, because Dan and Hugh aren't going to do it. And so I'm not going to be able to keep you all happy. I'm not, you know, some people are going to think, oh, you should have asked, I had to get people, A, who I got on with, B, who were prepared to do a stream that was more cultural than political. You know, we'll be talking about cultural things. I know, obviously, there's a massive overlap between culture and politics, but rather than talk about politics, it'll be cultural stuff and you know, entertaining, like the Three Stooges. So I've got to get on with them. We've got to have similar sort of thinking, but not agreeing on everything, because that's also rubbish. There'll be a lot of calling each other out, and people who are willing to do it. All right. So now the drum roll, and I'll tell you who they are. The Three Stooges new 2.0, which will have a different name altogether, but just to let you know, is me. Well, I'm in it. The Ayatollah is in it, and Horus. So that is the Three Stooges 2.0. Me, Ayatollah, and Horus. It won't be scheduled. It will be like the Three Stooges. We'll do one here. We'll do one there. There might be 1 month where we do 2. We might not do one for 8 weeks or whatever. But there will be regular streams with me, Horus, and Ayatollah chatting away for an hour or 2 and ripping the piss out of each other and being a cool place to hang out and have a laugh occasionally. You know, there will be topics of relevance. We won't just come on and, you know, but, you know what the Three Stooges was like. That's what I said to Horus and Ayatollah. I said that sort of thing. They both knew that show, and they both agreed. So there you go. I hope that you're looking forward to that, and we'll have quite a laugh. That will be interesting. Mrs. Me in it. Thank you, my dear, for that, Lady Godiva. And a row with a bit of skate in a fry. They're big things, though, aren't they? It's a big old fish. Maybe, you just had a bit of it. In a frying pan last night. Get your skates on, mate. Get your skates on, mate. Burnt badly, but Tiger Balm say. I thought you meant you burnt the fucking fish. I never said to put Tiger Balm on a burn. I put it on nap bites, but it actually worked on a burn, did it? That does surprise me. I don't think I'd put it on a burn. Have I ever burnt myself and used Tiger Balm? I think I don't know if I'd do that, but it worked, did it? Good gosh. White Tiger Balm. Racist. Nice one, Mrs. Minute. Horrible having a burn, though, isn't it? Awful things. Awful. Thank you. I hope you're well. Your old man's deep diving in some right old structuralist thought. Hello, Tricky Who. Not Hawes. Leon says he's correct. Pedo is 12 and under. The term was designed to separate an absolutely pre-sexual from the potentially newly sexual. The term was created for 13 to 16, but scientists rejected it. Okay. Well, I thought it was to do with pubescence, but apparently I am wrong. I apologize, Pizzle. I thought I had that dialed in. You know. Matt Hancock, Watcherley, chilling in the park after a cycle. Scorchio today. Well, I tell you what, that's the problem I've been having with the weights. Out here, I do a only upper body, and my muscles are so hot. I have like a cold shower for about half hour. I come out of it and just piss with sweat. It took me about an hour at the party, and they had the aircon on just to cool down. I don't know whether that's a normal thing or whether I'm just absolutely smashing the hell out of those weights. Yeah. Russell Glands. I don't think it's got a D on it. I think it's glands. Glands. The singular for glands is glands. I mean, gland is like a pituitary. You know the one I mean. There we go. Lee's burn. Good gosh. Unfortunately, Andrew, 3 of a kind has already been used by BBC Two, and it was Lenny Henry, Tracy Ullman, and the third bloke went so far into obscurity that I can't remember his name. No, we'll be able to do something better than that, I think. Swifty Morgan, no, not Sargon. Sorry, Lumi. I was going to, if everyone else turned me down. Toller's on. It's me, Boris, and Toller. And we'll probably, I don't know, we haven't sorted out the details yet, but we'll probably have it like when we used to do it. We'll just have it on different people's channels at different times if they're up for it. I don't know. Hello, Moody Edge. Good to see thee. Mrs. Me in it says, Danger, how about as mad as your old man's pants, as I say? What, my old man's pants? You know he's dead. That's an awful thing to say. So, right, talking about Semiagog, it was a good guess. They didn't want you, Horus. They wanted Semiagog instead of you. I couldn't talk to Semiagog once a month. Fucking hell. It's taken me and Semiagog 48 emails. No lie, 48 emails to arrange him coming on here. 48. That's not an exaggeration. We haven't been having chats about other things. The first email is, oh, do you want to come on my channel for a chat? And the last one is, okay, next week, blah, blah, this time. So Semiagog next week. And Jeffrey Sharla, who come on and talked about addiction being a choice because he wrote that book, who's just survived cancer as well. This is a bloke who rattled himself off 120 mils of methadone when he was like 70 because they gave it to him for back pains. And after he wrote that book, Addiction is a Choice, like 15, 20 years ago, all the junkies were like, you don't know what it's like, though. It's easy for you to write things like that. You don't know what it's like. He does now. He does. And he still believes addiction is a choice. Good call. But that Addiction is a Choice book is his sideline. His main area is psychiatry. And with so much of the DSM-5 being thrown around in the Depp Heard trial, I talked to Jeffrey about that at the time. You know, they were using psychiatrists to talk about, you know, behaviors, but psychiatry didn't get debated. The validity of the DSM-5 and the way they do their controls and the whole idea of psychiatry didn't get debated. And psychiatry is evil. Psychiatry is the weaponization of mental health. And when Sharla gets going on that, remember him when he came on, looks like Father Christmas, lovely bloke. I won't have to say much on that stream, which will be a relief for once. I'll say, so Jeffrey, what's wrong with psychiatry? And then I'll just mute myself and sit back, because that's what he's been doing for the last 30, 40 years of his career, ripping the arse out of a hideous practice that encourages children to take drugs for problems that have been invented. And I was talking about it. I think it was yesterday. I was talking about it. You know, the explosion of the fiction of psychiatry has run hand in hand with Kenzie and John Money and the whole gender identity thing. They needed an institutional academic framework within which to, you know, spout their nonsense. And what a surprise, psychiatry was sitting waiting for them. Now, Charlotte won't go down that route. Oh, but trust me, you'll love it. It'll be awesome. So we've got Semiagog is booked. Charlotte is booked. And me, Boris, and Toller will probably do the first one in about 3 or 4 weeks, I'd guess. So good stuff. As mad as your dead old man's pants, as Mrs. Me in it said. Area says 3 is a crowd. What, as a title, as a name for the thing, or are you just saying? No, it's good when there's 3 of you. I know you know. I know you meant it in another way, but it's good. It's a good little thing. Yes. I think so. 42. I think it'll be a good. Where's 42's comment? I just saw it. Oh, it's gone now. Yes, but 42 approved. Yes, I think so. There will be topics of dubious relevance. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I might even introduce you to some of the things that Oris has sent me on Telegram. I won't, Oris. That would be unfair. But yeah, interesting stuff. Very interesting. Horace is listening with a delay. What, like a guitar pedal? You've plugged it in so that the whole show is LSDJ. Incredible. When we were at art school, we used to listen to Steve Reich's For 18 Musicians through a couple of guitar effects pedals. Just sit there going... and that's why I'm sane. I thought that was interesting what Toller said the other night when I was asking him about why he does what he does. And he said it twice, actually. He rounded up and said to keep people sane. When he went on PWR, someone accused him of entertaining his audience. There's so many things wrong with the dissident right, but that wins the prize for the most bizarre and frankly surreal thing to be upset about. Yeah, I don't know about that, Toller. Trying to entertain people. If you're gonna do a stream, people should be fucking bored. A good stream, my missus is on the blower. Hang on. Hello, chicken. You all right, love? I'm doing a video, so I can't give you a lift home. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Up to you. Yep. Bye. Oh, there's trouble in paradise, people. There's trouble in paradise. I'm not even joking. There's trouble in paradise. That relationship might be going down the plug hole. I think she's got a drinking problem. I'm not even joking. I don't know whether she's got a drinking problem or whether she doesn't know that you shouldn't drink a lot. But I have told her. I spoke to her about it today, and she's just told me she's going out clubbing, and she's not going to do that sober. And I think I can't be doing with it. Interesting. But as with every girlfriend I've ever finished with, there's always a good 60% element of relief. Right, where are we going? What are we doing here? I'm miles away from people. Don't worry about the names. We'll get something. Don't worry. Andrew says heat causes the veins to dilate, making it even harder for them to work properly. So you'll probably be overheating with damage you've done to veins. So what previous damage I've done to my veins? But dilate means get bigger. Surely your veins would work better if they were bigger. Good Lord, I'm getting on very confused here. I haven't got fucking Danny LaRue. What's going on? Francis, did I mention Francis, or is someone else talking about Francis? I don't give trigonometry long. you try seeing through one of their shows. They have lost the motivation. They've run out of subjects. They've hit that red pill wall. Now, I'm obviously not saying trigonometry are red pilled, but for a show that said it was a pro free speech show, and then about 6 videos in went, we ain't free speech, we ain't about free speech. And then when that bloke said, yeah, we can't have white people, collectivizing, because of that, to that woman who was sexually abused and repeatedly raped. Imagine saying that to her. I couldn't believe it. I could not. I blew my fucking top. Morgoth, who I don't get on with, he even tweeted Dangerfield's going off at trigonometry as I speak. That's how even he was convinced that I was being sincere. I couldn't believe it when he said that. Anyway, so what they done I think it was about a year ago, they said, oh, we're not going to do so many interviews now. Okay, we're going to do lives. And we're going to call them raw, right? We're going to call them raw. Now, I watched 2 of theirs all the way through. I added up all their super chats. I took away the YouTube tax, divided it between the 2 of them, worked it out over a week, and I thought, okay. And, that's their full-time job. Because they're not professional comedians. But trust me, I know they're not. They don't do anywhere near the amount of gigs you need to even pay rent. And I tell you what, I urge you, just for the lols, to watch some of their recent lives. They're not getting on so well. It's really dry. The subs are going up, but subscriptions is largely symbolic. I mean, how many people here have ever unsubscribed from channels? I mean, you might do it like once a year when you've got absolutely nothing else to do and you get all your subscriptions up and like, no, I don't watch that one anymore. But, you just don't really do that. And so, yeah, they're getting loads of subscriptions, but the numbers are terrible. For a show with something like 300,000 subs, some of their videos are getting like 16,000. Keep going, lads. I can't wait for that to fuck off. But what I mean is they hit their red pill wall is, trans. That's controversial. Let's talk about that. Oh, this, that. But they got to the point where they had to actually start asking some difficult questions. And they don't want to. Because that's why they called me a dirty, stinking racist. Francis called me, which is weird because 2 weeks before that, he said I saved his life. Remember? I showed you the tweet. Why are you being so horrible? You saved my life. I didn't, by the way. What ridiculous emotional blackmail is that? I just said, if you keep drinking like that, you'll be dead soon. You're an alcoholic. I didn't say it to him to help him. I just wanted to cunt him off. But yeah, they can't progress because it means taking their thought to areas that they don't want to because they're liberal cucks. And they haven't got the chops. They haven't got the performance chops to sit in the same place and make it entertaining. Sargon, whatever you think of Sargon, and he is point of entry for most people. He's got the chops to keep you entertained. He was clever enough to do the Lotus Eaters, get some other people on, get some youngsters on. People who have, this is all new and fresh. Yeah, I've got loads of energy. I'll do all your research for you, no problems. I've got loads of clips for you. Great. But they haven't got the chops. It's dry, man. It's dry. Woodlander. Over on Ayatollah's stream, he's just bigged you up. I just bigged him up. Oh, God, there's something happening in the atmosphere. Right, what time did you send that? 2:22. I'll have to go back and have a look at that later. Culture Bellows. What is that? Like some real ale club? Now, oi, people, what was that weird thing? You lot told me about it, but I never got the full story. Oh, it was. I know I've asked you before. I will open the call-in up. We've hit the hour mark, so I will open it up in a minute. But what was that YouTube channel where they were talking about wardens and setting up wards? This is why we fight, right? This is why we fight. I did clock that at the time, Pizzle, and think the old Saturday night stream. I did think. So anyway, this is why we fight, and it was weird. They had this thing about wardens, and then one day I watched it, and they were talking about seeds, and then it just went. Hello, King Corona. Now, can anyone tell me whether they said that they were going, or did it just disappear? Because it's not on YouTube. They got rid of all their old content. Can anyone tell me? Because I know a few scrubs used to watch it, and then she used Mandom as her outro music. I thought, oh, I don't know if that's a good thing to do. And it was right when we were on the, it was in the midst of the full Mandom. And she one day said, I've got our new outro music. I heard Dangerfield play it. It's called Mandom. I love it. Oh, well, so do we. And, there's other music out there. I just thought, that's absurd. Don't worry, I've still got you this clip I want to show you. But does anyone know, there you go, Flamadilla, it's called Atwood syndrome. That's a good call. Did they say to people where we're going to stop streaming, or did they one day just say, or did they just disappear? Does anyone know? I'd be very interested. That sort of thing fascinates me. I don't know why. I'm so far behind everyone. Hang on, what's this? Tinder just for sex? What, as opposed to the other Tinder that's just for sex? Ninjas are real, but they were called shinobi. I don't think ninjas were real. I don't think they were. But, who knows? Maybe they were so real that no one ever saw them. They just got a shuriken in their temple and went down and dead. If you saw a real ninja, that was the last thing you ever saw. Picard, how about Mary Mungo and Smack? Ed, it's an option, Picard. I think you might have put something over here. Yeah, you did. I've got it here. Hang on. It's quite an awful thing for me to have to read out, which is probably why I unconsciously forgot it, but I have got it. I did remember it, Picard. So this is what Picard said a while back. It's unpleasant. It's got a particular unpleasantness about it. Not that one. Thank you, Picard, for that one, though. But a while back, it's very strange out of context. He said this. Kids are like farts. I hate everyone else's and often my own. The reason I'm laughing a lot more than that joke deserves is because I thought it said kids like farts. I thought fuck knows where he's going with this one, but it was something quite different. Nice one, Picard. Right, let's get to this clip. So remember, I was talking about having a debate with a mate about the drag queen story time, and he talked about the dressing up little girls as porn stars, the beauty pageants. And I said, yeah, they're moving out of American culture. So that's why they're not a problem. They're on the way out. They're not being sponsored by huge corporations and the government, for instance. And then I saw this on Matt Walsh earlier tonight. Check it out. It's a little clip. It's shot in the vertical, which is always unpleasant. And it's not going to be a clip made with military precision, but here we go. You should have audio. I'll mute myself.
Dollar bills. Here's that.
Actually, it makes sense to have Matt Walsh's introduction because he actually talks a lot of sense. I mean, it's weird that Matt. It's weird. Oh God, no, we can't have that on the screen. Actually, you're gonna have to suffer it. Hey kids, come and listen to a story about my vagino. Here's the weird thing though. What was the weird thing? It's all, you know, Matt Walsh has just made this video, What is a Woman? And I think it's the likes of you and me that done the work years ago. But he talks about this stuff every day now. And I'm glad he is. But I wonder if he knows that there's been people talking about this for now, what, 4 or 5 years in the shadows? I wonder. I mean, you know, I don't expect him to acknowledge me, but he's talking about it like he's only just bumped into it all. Lucky him. Some of us have been living with this stuff for half a decade. Anyway, hopefully you'll still have audio, but check out his little breakdown because it does make sense.
An avenue you would want your child to explore.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, it's good to have at least one person in the drag world confirm what should be obvious, but really we don't need them to confirm it. You need only watch a few seconds of footage to understand what's going on. For example, the latest clip posted by Libs of TikTok shows a drag event attended by at least one very young child and featuring a half-naked man with fake rubber breasts dancing around while the audience hands him dollar bills. Here's that.
Feeling like a woman.
And that was that appeared to be the child's.
Now, it's no surprise that I'm all right with a bit of degeneracy. I'm all right with a bit of degeneracy. But the bit of degeneracy I'm all right with is between you and your partner in your house, not between men dressed up as caricatures of women, sexualized, and children. I draw the line there. There's something about that suggests the civilization is gone up in smoke. You know, actually went up to him and put some tips, you know, put a couple of quid in the tit. This it's quite a strange thing. I've got another little clip on here, another thing he brought up later. Hang on 1 second. I might not be able to find it. Oh, I can't show that. I'll get in too much trouble. It's weird, isn't it? The bigger channels can get away with it because there's too much. YouTube gets too much pushback, I think is the phrase. Now I'm all blued out. Right, I'm running out of words. Let's open up the chat. I wonder if the Russian chat bots will come on with their no whores. Weird. Cheap sex. All sex is cheap, isn't it? Even the expensive stuff. I've paid for the cheapest sex I've ever had. Go on. Right, here we go. I'll click that. I'll click that. I'll click that. I'll put that there. I'll press Control and V, and we are on. Boom. We don't need no education. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. Oh, what song was I learning earlier? Yeah, while we're waiting for someone. Oh, Packer, I was going to do the Name That Tune. Hang on, Packer, we'll do the Name That Tune. Right, you ready, people? Name this tune. one will get that. Name that tune for 10 points. I'll do another one in a minute. But for now, Packer.
What the fuck? Oh, hang on.
He's always got a little opener, Packer, hasn't he? When he comes on, he never just waits for me to say hello. It's always, oh, I've just got to, what's that? It's your angle. It's all, I'm not judging you.
I always leave YouTube on, so I've got the echo.
There you go.
Just
hello,
remember to switch it off.
The show starts now. How are you, Picard?
I'm all good, as usual.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. We've already got a winner. Look at that. Look, straight in. Now, I know, sorry. I know it's different on YouTube, but Flammer Diddler, Fade Into You by Mazzy Star. Hello, Ray. There you go. Packer, sorry to talk over you for ages now, but I did say this before, but it's worth, it bears repeating. I listened to that Mazzy Star song, and because when you write, you're narcissistic and you can, Packer, we can all dream, can't we? Are you drinking neat brown sauce, daddy's sauce out of a bottle?
Yeah.
That's the answer I wanted. Oh, I see. Shipyard American IPA. American Indian Pale Ale. What? That's
Yeah,
made
why
by
not?
Indians.
Eh?
Is that made by American Indians?
No. You know what Indian Pale Ale is, don't you?
It was a joke.
Oh, sorry.
You've had too many Indian. I can't even speak. So
I'll get me
I
coat.
heard that. I'll get a T-shirt. I'll meet you at the corner. I heard that Mazzy Star song, Fade Into You, and I thought, you know what? There's a scene in my novel when they make it into a movie that would be lovely. That I thought that's perfect. And so I looked into it. I thought, I wonder if it's been used anywhere else. You know, I don't want to be a cliche. I mean, in truth, the whole soundtrack will be written by Spiritualized, of course. I did write him a letter and asked him if he'd write it for my last novel for 20 years ago. Actually, a story there. Anyway, Mazzy Star Fade Into You has already been used in 41 Hollywood movies and or TV series. 41.
I didn't recognise it. I've no idea what you're on about. I've missed something. I feel a little bit left out.
She used to be. She's age hasn't been good to her, but I'll play you a little bit. It's a beautiful song. When you hear it, you'll probably recognise it. Even you've probably watched, like I say, this is live as well. You'll probably recognise it from a film that you don't even remember watching. She's hot as fuck in this video as well, I have to say. An absolute beaut. Here we go. You should have audio. Let's have a little bit of it. You let me know you've got audio. Before we go any further, I just want to have a look there at two different women. I think the guitarist is a woman, isn't she? That woman there.
Is it?
No? I think so. I think that's a bird.
Blimey.
And there's another bird there. And she's nearer. And yet she looks about half as... I know she's standing further back. Anyway, let's hear a bit of the song. And by hear a bit of the song, I mean, look at the absolute beauty on this girl.
I wanna hold the hand inside you. I wanna take the breath that's true. I look to you when I see nothing.
I'm going to come on my own heart if I carry what you're watching that. Your cup of tea, that?
Out of 10, I would give that one.
I've never heard that one before, which is weird because it's the sort of thing I'd imagine someone would have said. I think she's beautiful. My missus doesn't like me watching that because she knows that I like her.
My missus couldn't care less about that sort of thing. Absolutely don't give a monkeys. She points them out to me.
Well, so does mine, but in obviously a slightly different way. I mean, I don't yield. Don't get me wrong, I don't yield. That's it, Ray. She hasn't done too well. I'm being told it's a bloke on the guitar, but I know Mazzy Star is a man and a woman, but there's some shots a bit later where that's not the guitar, that's an acoustic bass. And I reckon that's a bird. Because the bloke who's playing guitar is not that. This isn't what you come on here for, is it? That there is, I reckon that's a bird. Let's have a look. That's a woman. If that's a geezer, that's the most woman geezer I've ever seen. What do you reckon? You tell me what you think, Packer. Hang on. So chat, man or woman on acoustic bass?
Someone once said to me, do you remember the Animaniacs?
I do
remember
not.
them?
No.
I said, look them up because all lesbians dress like one of the Animaniacs.
Okay, I will do it. I might do it in a minute. Let's check this out, and people in the chat will tell us what they think. Here we go.
Ooh. Yeah, that's Beck's sister, isn't it?
A stranger light comes on.
Well, people, it's hard to say. I mean, if that is a geezer, Dennis is just fuck knows.
Yeah.
Ray reckons the bloke beat. Nigel's wrong. Leamy's made a point. It could be a bit of both.
Yeah, I'd have to get them to know them a lot better than I want to find out.
Yeah, but Hope Sandoval, that's the singer's name. What a beautiful young lady she was. Right, how are you, Packer? What's happening?
I'm all good. We've done this. I'm fine. I'm only here because, like, you know, we're getting to the point now where if you have a call-in stream and I don't rock up, people are like, oh, where's Packer? Not.
Oh, you think that, do you? That's interesting. You quickly modified that, didn't you? No, I mean, no. You think it's tradition now, don't you?
Well, you know, but I see the chat. Oh, look, it's Packer first. Oh,
So now you've changed it to, Packer to, Packer.
Yeah, now I'm doing it to spite the scrubs.
I expect to see you first. It is tradition. It is tradition for you to come on first, and we talk about very little.
Yeah.
Why do you have your
more or less
here?
Because otherwise it gets in the way of me smoking.
That's, I suppose, you know.
You can eat me all right, can you?
Actually, I'd have the same problem with the vape, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'd have the same problem. Pizzle's coming on next. Apparently.
Me coming on is more or less an extension of you, the first hour of you waffling, because still nothing gets talked about particularly.
That's nice. That's kind. You've started quite badly, to be honest with you. This is a tradition that might end for being not inclusive of the host. Flammer reckons that Packer is the middle of the European tour. Oh, Packer is in middle of Europe. Oh, EC.
I think he means Eric.
Yeah, EC. My mate's mum has got a tattoo of a guitar with EC underneath it. And it looks like the bloke who done it just happened to say while he was pissed, I've got a tattoo gun. She went, all right, how about something about Eric? I love Eric Clapton. She hasn't got a single other tattoo. She's, you know, you wouldn't expect her to have an Eric Clapton tattoo. And it looks like a kid's drawing of an acoustic guitar as well. It's quite, in its own way, it's very sweet because it's fucked. Vart! Packer, give Anglo a var in your finest falsetto.
Vart!
He's fucking done it and all, though. You got to give him that. Nice one, Anglo. I hope you enjoyed your trifata. Thank you, Anglo. Very kind. There you go. Look, he said straight out hello to you.
Yeah, someone likes me.
Everyone does. Look, Willow says it wouldn't be the same if you weren't first.
Oh, well, thanks.
Cheers, mate. Anglo, thank you, mate. Much appreciated. The grift is fair to middling at the moment. At best. Where are we? Well, come on, say something, will you, Packer? Fuck's sake.
About what? It's about 38 degrees in my house. You'll understand that.
Yeah, but now why have you got a t-shirt on, though? Isn't it sweaty? Because if I wear a t-shirt, it gets sweaty. If I don't get sweaty. That's why I don't. The back of it
got somewhere like a Nepalesian hat which is fur lined. So when I'm wearing it, it looks very similar to the hat you've got. And I did consider at one point putting that on and just showing up shirtless with that on.
So many people have done it though, haven't they now? But they have though. Do you remember that? Did you see the most awkward stream when that copper came on?
No.
I had the Air Force pilot on, who's just brilliant, Tim. Just brilliant. It was like a bromance at first sight. Then I had Chrissy Thrall on, who's mad as a box of frogs, but one of the loveliest blokes you'd ever meet, and that was great. And then I thought, well, I'll get a copper on. And I got this copper on, right? And the scrubs they just...
I do vaguely... He weren't that bad, though, was he?
He wasn't that bad, but he was... I got the impression... Excuse me, I'm getting a bit... It's going up the Krakatoa a little bit.
I'm sure everybody...
is going up the Krakatoa. He was very defending some very poor decisions by the police. It was just after the week after the BLM riots happened and the police left them alone, a load of Caucasian people went down there just to protest and got the shit kicked out of them. And
they all turned up in riot gear, didn't they, that weekend for some reason?
And he was giving it all the... Yeah. And it was like, and he's quite a high-ranking copper.
Come down here to defend your statues, you bunch of racists.
Yeah, so people were angry at that anyway, but he was sort of saying,
rightly so.
Yeah, it was hard though. And when I finally got shot, because when he turned up, he had a pair of silly sunglasses on, like my old ones, and a silly hat, and it was like, and I thought, this will be a laugh. But he turned out to be. I felt he wanted to defend the police and their reputation, and they haven't got one. So, the disconnect between what working class English people think about the police, sorry, British people here, and 42. So I'm joking, 42. And it really got bad. And when I finally got shot of him, I went, you fuckers, because they were not no slack at all. You lying cunt, all this sort of stuff. For 45 minutes, that's hard, because he could see the chat, and I was like, oh, God. No, that was difficult.
Yeah, but he's a copper. They're used to it, aren't they? You've got to be, you got to have a skin thicker than a rhino to be a copper, surely.
The weird thing about him was I reckon he was a nice bloke, right? But he was a copper.
My best mate at school ended up a copper. He's another one I ain't spoke to for 35 years.
So how long has he been a copper? 36 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this bloke...
but he was actually all right. But he got done at school for handling stolen goods and all sorts of stuff. He was an all right bloke. I did like him. He was my best mate.
The only bloke in my school who ended up as a copper was this really weird... He was aristocracy gone to seed. He come from real money, and the family had lost all their money. There was no posh kids at my school apart from him, and he spoke like this, and he was all very posh, and he just got the shit. Everyone hated him. Everyone hated him because they didn't understand him, and he didn't understand us. And he sort of joined the school sort of in the third year, obviously, when the business went bankrupt, and his dad said, I'm sorry, we're going to have to take you out of Radley, and it's going to be the Downs Comprehensive. Unlucky. Get in there. You're going to get the shit kicked out of you. And he did.
I moved up to Lincolnshire when I was 11, and Lincolnshire is very, very white. And we're talking early 80s, so it's a good while ago. And I think in the second or third year, one black lad turned up, and he was in our year, and he lasted about 6 months, and he was gone.
Isn't that
And I
mad?
felt bad for him at the time, because I'm like, I come from Ilford. I'm like, you're going off like this about one black kid.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
We had one man of African descent in my whole school. My school had over 2,000 pupils. There was one like black kid. There was 2 Vietnamese kids and about 10 Indian kids. And they were, no one give a shit. You know, no one give a shit. I still talk to a couple of the Indian kids because no one gives a shit when it's just 4 or 5. It's like, all right, okay, you come unstuck, and so you had to start a new life. Not quite the same now. When I worked for this university place where the Independent funded it. I had to go into schools and talk about university life and give them all the tips on what to look for. There's no such thing as a best or worst university. There's the best or worst for what you want. I went into a school in Camberwell to talk to their sixth form. There weren't a white kid there. Not one. Not one. Not one.
Yeah.
In the capital. Not one.
Ilford in the 80s was mostly brown. Most of my mates was Indians and Pakistanis.
I remember because how old was I when I had that job? I was about 29, so I was a commie, really. I was coming, I wasn't really. I still had the t-shirts, so to speak. But I remember thinking, instinctively thinking, this isn't right. There's something weird's happening here. This is an odd situation. And I tell you what, and I have to say what happened. Because I was doing this, I'd do 2 schools a day, sometimes 1, but usually 2. I'd have to, get a train and then go to a cracking job, actually, really good money. And if I sold them the system, if I sold the school the system, I got a kickback off that as well, about 120 quid. So I could get like 300 quid for a day if I managed to sell these systems. But in that school, they were on their phones. They were just talking to people. I might as well not have been there. They were just let, when do we get out of here sort of thing, chatting to each other on phones and all that.
Yeah, I'll say I grew up in Ilford, and it was a great big chunk of Indian, Pakistani kids, a few blacks. And to me, it was normal. And then I moved up to Lincolnshire, and it was all white kids. But I didn't even notice until that black kid turned up what it was actually like.
Okay, that's interesting.
When I was younger, like you, I was a commie, although I didn't really see it like that. And I was put out about it. But I've been back to Ilford since, and I fully understand, because now it's a different country. I go back to where I was born, and my culture's gone, my language is gone. Nothing that I remember from when I was a kid is there anymore.
Well, the mad thing is, because originally all the Londoners moved out to the likes of Ilford to get away from the changes in central London. All the Cockneys and that. That's out to Dagenham, Barking, Kent as well.
Yeah, then they'll shift again out to Peterborough and everywhere else.
Being chased out, literally chased out of the country
and followed.
You'll know when it's all gone proper tits up when Cockneys are getting in dinghies to go to France.
It's never going to get that bad. If it gets that bad, it's over. Fancy having to go to France, right?
And you watch, the RNLI won't do it. We ain't taking you across there. Oh, why not? All right, Packer, always a pleasure. I'll kick you out now, and I'll get Pizzle on.
Come on, Pizzle. See you.
Yeah,
see you, Scott.
Look after yourself and the family. Ta-da. It is tradition for Packer to come on first, let's be honest. It just wouldn't feel right otherwise, and it gets me into the rhythm of, largely ignoring what the guest is saying and thinking about things nothing to do with the stream. Pizzle, I'll put the link in the chat. Let's see. He can look. He's changed his mind. I was just about to say, let's see how many times he can put himself down in this one, but he's lost his bottle. Well, if anyone wants to come in, they can. I will be a little bit suspicious about names I don't recognise. Oi, so you know that fella? Remember that fella come in and thought it would be hilarious to go, do you get any respect? Well, that didn't make it onto his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is just that. They get guests on, or they go on live streams and, you know, troll people, and that's their channel. And I watched their last 2 weeks, and it's all the ones they done, and it didn't go on. You can't come on here. You can't troll me like that. You're gonna have to go some, I tell you. Anyway, I'm too tired. How do you think I feel? It's fucking gone 3 in the morning. No problem, Pizzle. It's no pressure, mate. No pressure. Have you seen Children of Men? I have seen it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Isn't there like one girl left who can breed, and she's black? I think it's an odd one. I thought it was a bit of a jank film, to be honest with you. I had to do that interview. I already told you that, didn't I? I'm sure there was something else I was going to tell you. You don't look like anyone wants to come on. It's understandable. It is Friday. I'll pop it in there again. Let me see if I think there is something. Oh yeah, I've got something from the Babylon Bee that's quite a tickle. Let's have a look. I mean, what a job the Babylon Bee have got at the moment, and the Onion, all that lot. Did you see that Latinx, that Latino win a seat in Texas? The whole Democrat plan of pandering to minorities is already falling flat on its face. I think it's been blue for like 30 years, and this Latinx, no Latin people use that, by the way. Why would you? Oh, are you Latino? No, I'm Latinx. Yeah, no, I'm Latino. Yeah, I am. Don't worry about what the cunting white liberals have got to say. It's ridiculous. But yeah, if you want a barometer of the midterms, Vartavit. It was a quiet Vart though. I'll bring you on Arklow. Let me just give Anglo a sensible Vartation. Yeah, that's more like it. Thank you, Anglo. You're holding the fort here, son. Aprasha Kanatu. Thank you, man. Here we go. Arklow rocks. What's it going to be tonight? Golf or boating? Hello, son.
Hey. I'm not gonna do the golf thing on you again, lad.
Listen, when did you realise your voice was that deep?
Do you remember Fighting Fantasy books?
Hang on a minute, people. Can you just see what happened there? I asked him the most absurd question, and he immediately had an answer. When did you realise? He went, and now you're going to tell me. Go on, then. Amazing.
Well, by any chance, since we're almost an identical age, do you remember Fighting Fantasy books?
Yeah,
Steve Jackson, Ian Livingston.
Name some. I had the Usurper. I had.
Fighting Fantasy was a very popular series. Ian Livingston and Steve Jackson.
Yeah, they were the ones. I think that those names.
And J.H. Brennan did the Grail Quest series. He was actually an Irish lad, but he wrote about Arthurian legends. It was very funny.
Hang on. Really funny. I've got the same thing. I think I've got confused here. I was thinking of the ones where you get to choose what page you read next. Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when you got it wrong and you just went back and made the other,
you die.
Yeah.
When I was about 10, like they were like really popular with myself and my friends, and we actually recorded ourselves reading the book as like a narration. You know, as in reading like a story, picking the right options, and I heard a recording of us, and I had this light, breathy little voice, you know, but the hormones at the age of 12 just came in, and I hit puberty pretty hard.
Yeah, you fucking did.
I did.
How low can you go?
Pretty low. Pretty low.
It's fucking low, man.
Yeah. Much lower than that, actually. Me comfortable singing voice is obviously a bass, but I've sang a lot over the years, and I actually have a pretty decent higher register as well. You know.
Really?
I might not seem that way, but I do.
No, that would make sense. So really, can you do what's it called, a glissando, where you go through the octaves without a break? I'll tell you why. Because most people can't, because they haven't trained, they haven't practiced. And what happens is they tend to break. That's how you find where your speaking voice is. Because if I try it, look. And that it was right there. And that's where I talk. Go on, give it a go. See if you can go from low to high.
Go.
Oh no, you done pretty well there. I haven't got a good enough ear to know if you pulled it off.
Well, the YouTube being the miracle that it isn't all politics and ethno-nationalism. There is other stuff on YouTube. So, you know, there's like singing coaches, you know, who talk about simple techniques for developing your voice and how to squeeze a bit more out of your voice. You know, you can if you get nasally, you can actually get a much higher register out of your voice. I don't quite know what it does to your vocal cords, but if you get a little bit nasally, you can round out a higher sound. Also, you can blend falsetto into your voice without really doing a silly kind of thing. You can actually blend falsetto in. You know what I mean? If you with a bit of practice, obviously, like, you know.
Can you sing along to this? Hang on. I don't know. There's kind of an intro. Hang on.
See this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
I haven't started the melody. Hang on.
Yeah,
I'll give you the first 4 words and you'll know it. I met my love.
I met my love by the gasworks wall. Dreams a dream by the old canal.
There's a delay, isn't there? That's why I'm thinking you're going too fast. But Brendan Behan, is it? Wrote that? Maybe?
No, Ewan McCall wrote Dirty Old Town. He was Kirsty McCall's father, by the way.
Yep, that's right.
And he was from Manchester, I think. Possibly, I might be wrong about that. Someone might correct me there now. But he had a really good song about being a miner. Like, you have to go down the pit. My brother actually plays it very well. It's a really, really good song. I must look it up later on, actually.
Have you been in a boozer with a pint with a bloke with a baran and the fiddle comes out and that, and have you got down into that and gone, I met my love by gasworks wall?
I actually have a very poor repertoire for kind of traddy sorts. I know a few, like, you know, I'm able to do. Do we have any Irish people here? I'm able to do Paddy's Green Shamrock Shore with like an open tuning, and it sounds pretty good. It's sort of like the way Paul Brady plays it. That would be my pièce de resistance.
Darling, remember that the doom will be mine if I stay. 'Tis for better we part, though it's hard to, than to rot in this prison away. So softly she kissed my pale lips. It was the same story over and over. Hush now, darling, the police are waiting, and I know that I must go ashore.
I'll tell you what. I tell you what. You'd have got it. You'd have got the silence in the pub for that one.
Do people stand up in pubs in your manner and just break into song and everyone goes?
In my local, which I hardly ever got anymore, but sing songs would break out, and it'd spread like wildfire around the tables, and you'd have to actually come up with something. You'd have to come up with something to sing. Like, also, another way of developing your voice is if you do it at parties and stuff where nobody's listening, and everyone's talking over you, you really do learn how to.
Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah. You get to.
So that I'd be a belter, you know, and I can't play leady stuff, but rhythmically I'm pretty on point on, you know, and I can hold down a rhythm pretty good, you know.
Okay.
So I learned all this though. I was never had no ability whatsoever. Like, you know, this is from learning music from all their family members and friends who actually were able to play. Like, but you know, everybody can learn. You know, people say they can't sing, but can you speak? Can you hear the tone of your voice?
Yeah.
Are you sure you can sing? Then you know you can hear that. You know, you might not be a very good singer. You might not have a brilliant voice. You might not be able to project very well. But I absolutely assure you, like, assuming that you're not actually physically deaf, you can probably sing. Like, you know.
People think they can do it without practicing, and you know you have to practice. I mean, when I was in bands when I was 17, I didn't understand pitching, and I'd write songs and the lyrics would all be in like one note. I don't wanna go to work, because I didn't understand that you.
Yeah.
I had this chat with a mate today. My mate Paul Mumford. Yep. And a lot of people say to him, "Oh, you're a natural musician," and I get pissed off with that, because no, he spent years learning how to be a musician. I don't think you can be a genetically good guitar player. That doesn't make any sense.
I think you could get theory very quickly. You might get theory instantly. It might not be a mystery to you. It might the complexities of theory, which I just find are boring, because it's so difficult to try and remember. Diatonic chords, you know, A minor scale, A major scale, and you should be able to construct every chord of that. And you know, but it's Jesus, like, wouldn't be bothered. Like, you know.
As a fan of jazz, I tried to learn a bit of that music theory, just to appreciate it from a different angle. But you know, I was looking at John Coltrane's Giant Steps, and it was the circle of fifths, and I watched so many videos about it, and I just couldn't get it.
Like the circle.
Too high.
Yeah, the circle of fifths is presented to you. Oh, here, just unlocking theory. No, it doesn't. No, it really didn't. Diatonic chords, if you want to write simple songs, are great. That's fine. And learning how to construct the chords, where they come from, the triads of right. That's very simple. That's very, very, very simple. Not that would take you a few days of just reading over and over again. You probably would get it, like, you know. But I just, you know, I had a crack at trying to write stuff, and I can't really do it. And like, you know, but I can learn songs, and I'll dig in there, and I can do a little arrangement of a song and strip it down a bit and play it and sing it, and it'll be okay, you know.
Okay.
We were on a lads' weekend in Cork about 10 years ago, and we went to a place that has a reputation as a trad pub in the city, like, you know, in Clonakilty, and there was all tourists in it listening to the trad session, you know, and we were full of beer, like, you know, but I wandered over and sat down beside the guitarist, you know, and I says, "Can I play a song?" You know, so your man hands me a lovely Martin guitar. It was beautiful, you know. Yeah. And I just played the Wichita Lineman, you know, because I know it pretty good. I know, and I can carry it off, like, you know. Now, it wasn't a trad song, but there's loads of US tours, and I got a great.
Lovely.
Like, the boys were sitting over in the car going, "Where did you get that from?" How could you do that? Like,
amazing.
you know,
I sometimes find if I do that in public, I find a lot of songs go on too long. I'll drop a verse and a chorus out if it's live.
Yes.
Otherwise, you know, the first verse, first chorus, they're into it. Second verse, second chorus, it's starting to. Oh yeah, no, it's time to stop now. Yeah.
And you as a performer on the stage, Chris, know that perfectly well. You get in, do it, and then like a mockingbird, you just come in, do your thing, and then back away. But lots of folks, I know all 15 verses of it.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
Nobody wants to hear all 15 verses of it. Like, just they don't. Most of the great lead solos are quite short. You know, really great pop songs are about 2 minutes long. You know, I love long songs. I love prog. I love jazz. I love prog metal. I love black metal. I love atmospheric black metal. Songs are 30 minutes long. But that's for sitting in the car when I'm thinking about life and whatnot. But out in the pub, can you do a Weezer tune? Can you do a verse, chorus, and go, da, 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 da. That's what people want to hear. They don't want to hear jazz improvisation. They don't want to hear jazz odyssey. They don't want to hear. So the band played Waltzing Matilda literally from when I was a young man. It carried me back all the way through to the little refrain at the end, because that's quite a long song. So
no,
you're gonna.
You've also got the added lack of attention span of alcohol. You know. And it's a very defeating feeling when they go silent when you start and you think I'm on this, and then they start talking, and then you just sort of slowly fade out and put the guitar down.
For a session, alcohol is both your friend and your enemy. It gets people moved up to kind of go, you're deadly. Also, they'll talk over you as well. So it's a double-edged sword. And also it's hard to, if your throat gets very dry and dehydrated, it's hard to sing. Hard to sing,
Have you ever been in bands, like proper bands?
Not really. I've not really. Little bits and pieces here and there. Me buddies, we tried to do a bit of stuff years ago. We were making an effort. Then we're going to college and then working, and I've jammed with folks in my area. You know what I mean? One of my brothers was in a band. Like a wedding. Band. A very, very good bass player. I got to play with them a little bit, myself and another brother and a brother-in-law have a little jokey group that we've jammed a lot of songs together. We can actually put about a 40-minute set together,
So you've got a lovely grain, a lovely tone to your voice. I think it's wasted.
It's volume, my good man. It's volume, and it'll carry you through. It'll carry you through. Even in a noisy pub, I can project above noisy people quite loudly, actually.
No, that doesn't surprise me at all. Have you been out on the green? Is that what you say? Have you been out on the fairway this week?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I played Abbey Lakes yesterday, and it was like 30 degrees, and I thought I was going to die. It was savage, absolutely savage. And that's a very hilly course and with very hard ground, so your legs get very tired. And there's no stop there.
Here now, Arklow. 30 degrees here right now.
Oh, my Jesus. Chris,
it's 3:30 in the morning.
Myself and my missus were in Budapest there in July of 2019, before the coup started and all that nonsense. And I thought I was going to die there. We were up at the Basilica, up on the hill overlooking the Pest side. And I was like, I can't walk back to the bus. I can't do it. The heat, I'm gone.
The trouble I have isn't the heat. I'm all right. I've got a fan right above me head here. The problem I'll have is if I have to walk somewhere. If my missus wants to walk down the river, because it's lovely up by the riverside. There's loads of things going on. But even at and I intentionally take a slow pace because
Yeah,
otherwise
yeah.
I've still got that junky march about me where I'm
You go get sorted.
Yeah, but even when I take a slow pace, I'm fine while I'm still walking. Sit down at a cafe.
Yeah, just the sweat just comes flooding out. Like,
So wet, soaked.
Yeah, it's horrible. And I feel like I'm gonna I'm gonna pass out or something in it. Like, you know what I mean?
You have. I take it you had headwear on. Yes. When
yeah. I did. Yeah, I put sunscreen on and everything, and the good gear, light, but you know.
What factor is it? About 80?
I don't know. I was trying to get a bit of a tan as well, about factor 15, like, you know. But I've had to get shit taken off the top of my head and me back and me.
Factor 15, that's nothing. You should be.
Oh yeah. Well, you have to get a bit of a tan as well, like, you know what I mean. So factor 50 is only for babies, like, you know what I mean.
We used to have to put I can't remember, sun cream on our dog. We had a white staff.
Yeah.
That little bastard.
They're all going on about the summer of 1976 over here. Which I remember that vaguely. Actually, I actually do remember it. Like, like we'd get brought down to the beach every day, and just you'd have to hop into the sea, like, and have your tea and sandwiches, and get sunburned. Basically, my mother would put olive oil on it then later on after you were burnt.
Yeah, those were the days. I mean, in those days, my mum would put sun cream on us, but I think it was actually tanning cream.
Could have been.
You put something on you to actually make the sun. I don't know. And then there was the after sun, which you're talking about, olive oil. We had that, but it was just oil. I don't think it done much. I don't know why putting oil on your skin very much.
Would you go back to those days again in a heartbeat?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's not
it was fantastic.
It was fantastic. Like, we were very. I don't want to be boring everyone here now, but like, this whole thing of the using the past to morally shame us now, like, I mean, and it's constant in Ireland. There's no end to it. It's just constant. The Catholic Church, mother and baby homes, the terrible sexism and the terrible parochialism. It's just constant. I ask people now, when ironically, what was that sweet spot between us being a colonial occupied people, bravely fighting for freedom? When did it all turn to shit, and when did we become a terrible country? Like, you know what I mean? I don't. Can you point it out to me, please?
Yeah.
I mean, by their logic, then, Christopher, like, in 100 years' time, we'll probably be regarded as the most immoral, thick, brutal, people, because we're not doing what you would do 100 years from now. You know what I mean? Fucking nonsense, like. But like, the thing that annoys me about people is when you kind of you have to try and get them to have a little bit of a conversation like that, but they don't want. And I'm referring to my friends and work colleagues, like, and they're all great people. I love them all, but like, they don't want to talk about stuff like that. The silliness the silliness of the culture now. Like, you know what I mean?
Why do you think that is? Why do you think they don't want to have those conversations?
I don't know. I've been doing a few of them a little bit of the service. I have made a few little inroads into a few people, and they're like, you know what? That's quite interesting what you said there. But I think you just get a kind of what does it matter? What does it matter?
I found I kind of learned about when I try and tell someone about music, like, oh, you've got to hear this album. People aren't interested. I found with music, there's a parallel here. That's the word I was looking for. I found with music, people like to think they've discovered something themselves. So if I say to someone, oh, you've got to listen to this album, you're going to love it, it's by so-and-so, so-and-so, because they then identify or associate that with me, they're not so inclined. So what I try and do is drop very little, like, tidbits, but just very little bit, something that they might be able to get their teeth into, and then they might think, I'm going to have a look further into that, because then they own it, and it's not just I'm sort of playing second fiddle to his ideas. So I've certainly noticed a parallel with that.
Well, Chris, I'll expand on that as well. I just wanted to give Rags a bit of a shout out there for a quite a pithy comment.
All right, hang on, Alan. Thank you for that. Hi, Alan. Nice to see you as always. And there's Alan's Hello Scrubs, another tradition. Let's see what the man Rags has said. I always keep an eye on Rags and 42 when you're in. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, it could be miles.
We'll just call it a sort of a comment on the interesting position of demographics.
Okay.
Just interesting. Just interesting.
Okay. Well, we got back to music. We kind of started there. That's that cycle. Arklow, always a pleasure. I'll get out there one day. I'd love to come and have a drink with you in one of those boozers. I'll stand up and sing.
If you ever do, I don't think Cambodia is on the itinerary in the near future. But if you are over in the outside at all, would be very honoured to have a cup of tea if that was your pleasure, or whatever, or a pint.
No, I'll go a few pints with you. Don't worry about that.
No, fair enough. Yeah. You better get your drinking legs on then, lad.
Oh,
I'm not throwing down with Chris Dangerfield. I am not throwing down with Chris.
We'll see how that goes. Nice one, Arklow. Look after yourself.
All right, good night, folks.
I know, mate. What a lovely bloke. I would like to go out, and I mean, I'd like that kind of boozer to be authentic, though. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to go into one that they've sort of set up for the English. Do you know what I mean? You go in there and like the locals like, oh, we've got some tourists in, we better knock out some songs. It'd be nice to go to a nice little local boozer and I think, oh, I know this one. Said my old woman to your old woman, and go to the wax's doggle. Said my old woman to your old woman, I haven't got a farthing. I went down to my own town to see young Gilmer Gargill. Yeah, I don't think that'll go down well as the last one I sung. Right. Alan, thank you for the donation. Nice to see you. A pleasure. Hope you're doing well. So many comments, but it's hard to read the comments when I'm paying attention. Lovely voice, Arklow, isn't he? Man, I bet that voice is. I bet women have yielded who just from the sound of it. Can you imagine being a woman and having Arklow go? I can't even go that low. It's not just the depth of it though. It's the what would you call it? It's the fullness of it, the richness of it. 42.
Hello, what about you?
Come on after Arklow, didn't you? There's something political going on here that I don't understand.
No, well, to be fair, what had happened was I was grabbing my microphone and headphones, and Arklow got in just before me. So I already had the thing in, so it's just what it is.
Do you sing any traditional songs?
Yes, I do, but there's two problems with this. One is my singing voice is absolutely ridiculous, and the second one is apparently my traditional songs are less socially acceptable than Arklow's.
that hasn't convinced me to. Neither of those have made me not want to hear them, but I'll take your warning. And is that a thing that happens in your local boozers? Are there songs and things?
Yes, there would be. Sometimes there's a thing called the Sesh Bash, which is a evening where you would have a singer on or a group on that would sing traditional songs, and it's hard to know whether you're listening to the singer or the audience because everybody joins in.
That's lovely, though. That is absolutely lovely. There's nothing wrong with that at all. A couple of varts are coming. Excuse me a second. Anglo, holding the fort like an absolute legend. He says, bonjour, contre toi. I think you gained an uno then, actually. Cuatro dos. I only know that because my mum drinks this Spanish liqueur called 43. Yeah, that's the kind of quality content you're going to get from me tonight. Thank you, Anglo. Much appreciated. Really appreciated. 42, have you got something you want to bring to the party, or did you just sit down for a natter?
No, I actually have information for you. You're going to like this.
I'm interested in information, but have you done your boating? That's another few weeks yet, isn't it?
Yeah, that's about 3 weeks away. More so,
okay.
End of July. Right. Do you remember whenever I was on and we were talking about the murals and you were asking about do they get touched up and fixed and stuff?
Oh yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
Right. Well, the one that I showed you where this conflict's about nationality is part of a quite long range of murals. You'll find it on Google if you type in Freedom Corner.
All right. Political, this one. Always causes problems. Oh yeah, there you go. I remember we had a look at it. Hang on, I'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of murals there on gable walls and small walls.
There certainly is. While you're talking, I'll grab a couple.
Right. Well, see, I'm currently on night shift. On Wednesday night, whenever I was going to work, those murals were all there. On Thursday morning, whenever I was coming home, actually it was Tuesday night going on to Wednesday morning, those walls were all white.
Oh, so they got painted over?
Yep. All of that wall is now white, and what's going to happen is there'll be new ones put on. There looks like the whole thing's being updated.
Well, that is actually, I've just noticed that because the two I'll show you would appear to be on the same wall, and they're totally different. Let's have a look at these. I will just put, thank you again, Anglo. I will just put this comment on because Billy said this. Just while me and Arklo were having a nice chat, look what Billy said. I'm so glad I missed it at the time. Billy said, he's so niggling. Could you ask Arklo what he thinks about the Northern Irish, if anything, both sorts? Arklo, if you're in the chat, that's your call. Cheers, Bill. Let's have a look at this Freedom Corner because this is what 42 is talking about. So there's one that was there at one point. They're very impressive. They're very impressive. They really are impressive. And then there's another one on the same spot. So you've seen that painted up white now, have you?
Yep. This is all gone white, and to be fair, see along this batch of road, there's, I think it's either 5 or 6 gable walls with smaller walls in between them where the houses are. So I'm trying to actually think. I think this was iteration 1, the first time they were all done.
Okay.
And we're now on to the 3rd, possibly 4th time this section of walls been done. So it's all going to be white, and I'm quite curious as to what's going up.
Oh, interesting. So 42, does anyone know who does them?
Yes, everyone knows who does them. It's people attached to prescribed organizations.
Do the authorities know who do them?
Yeah, because they're done during the day.
Oh, they literally come out with a few step ladders and they're on it.
Oh, step ladders? Fucking scaffolding.
Scaffolding. I was just about to think scaffolding. Yeah. Does someone? Let me just go back to the picture for this question. This is obviously, tell me if these are things I'm not allowed to ask. But does whoever lives in that house, are they sort of high ranking, or could it be? Is it arbitrary?
No, it's arbitrary. What happens is this is like council housing, and it happens to be along the front of the Newton Ards Road, and it gets muralled. And
Is it a risky house to live in?
no, actually, where's that? That's Frederick Corner. Getting down towards there is risky, but more so because of the people that live the other side of the road behind the wall.
Of course it is. Of course.
Yeah,
Okay. One other question.
Here's one for you. Jack London's coming down to me to watch the 1st of July parade.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the parade comes along part of that road, and I'm going to take him on down to have a look at the peace walls and stuff. Might be an interesting conversation for you as to what he makes of all of that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. King Corona said it's probably the safest house in the hood.
Well, yep. It's people. A lot of people around there don't lock their doors.
Wait, 42. When you look at that one on the screen there,
yeah,
what emotions does it evoke?
Defiance.
Yeah, I mean, because it's sad as well as kind of empowering, I suppose.
The reason why that's a mural for the UFF, Ulster Freedom Fighters, who are a military wing of the Ulster Defence Association.
Okay.
Had the community not came under attack, none of that would have existed.
I'm just gonna say okay. I'm as neutral as can be at the moment.
Yeah,
Arklow was very good. He said, "I think they're both communities with very rich histories." Well done, Arklow. That was well handled, mate.
No,
well handled.
But the thing about it is, people like Arklow and the people who live in the Republic are a very different animal than Irish people in Northern Ireland. They're chalk and cheese.
Okay.
And
anyway, back to the boating.
Back to the boating, yes.
Okay, but it's interesting though, isn't it? Because that there's a man in a bally with a Kalashnikov by the looks of things.
Yep.
It's crazy, isn't it? I watched that movie Belfast. I think someone told me to watch that.
I can't really comment on it because I've avoided that film on the grounds that most of the stuff that is anyway mainstream pisses me off, and I don't like to get angry.
I can understand that. I tell you what, my impression of it from someone who, while he's done his best, is still very ignorant. It's a fucking complex. The whole thing's very complex to me. But the idea I got from it's an interesting movie. There's a story told. It felt like the person who wrote it was trying to not be in any way partisan, which is a very weird thing to try and be when you're making that kind of film. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's also very strange because everything previous to that has been very partisan, right, from the Irish side. Which actually, if you're saying it doesn't seem to be partisan, I might actually...
Oh, no, please don't take my word for it. So, speak to someone who knows. Ask Rags. I think Rags might have seen it. I watched another one as well. I think Rags told me to watch, but that's kind of skipped. It was well watchable though. I mean, it's the reason I'm kind of fascinated by it all, which I don't mean to sound glib because lots of people have died, but is because my experience of it as a child was a very different thing to what it's been as an adult, obviously. But we were just told that there was a few terrorists bombing England. That's what we thought as kids. And by kids, I mean teenagers. You know, there were some terrorists in Ireland, and they were bombing us, and that was all we were. That was the sort of story that we got. It's, what's that? What's that? Have you seen? And again, this is very partisan. What is it? The wind that shakes the barley?
No, I haven't seen that.
Have you heard of it?
I'll tell you one thing. No, I haven't. I'll tell you something I can recommend. If you can find them, there was a series of plays that were made. Well, there were TV plays that were made in the 80s called the Billy Plays, which was about...
Who told me about this today? Someone told me about this today. Go on, carry on. Someone told me about this today.
They were quite good, and watching them as a much younger person, I recognized working class Belfast in those plays as representative of what I lived. I think they were very good, and they had a play that they put on in the theatre that I went and seen with my dad and my sister, and there was a bit in it where the person who was playing somebody who had been a police officer with a police woman with the RUC Royal Ulster Constabulary, and had left whenever it became the PSNI, and in the middle of her rant, she used a term for PSNI, police serving nationalist interests, and it was me coined that phrase.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Am I talking to a high-ranking member of a historically, politically active institution? Am I going to get people chasing me around the streets out here?
No, you're talking to a wingnut with a Twitter account that.
That'll do, sweet. I feel a lot better.
Yeah, a wingnut with a Twitter account that put out a tweet that people retweeted, and a phrase stuck by chance, because I put out a tweet in 2012, 2013 about the police attacking the Protestant protesters. It was peaceful protesters battered by police serving nationalist interests.
Okay.
And that phrase then got, the police serving nationalist interests got used in a speech at Twiddale Avenue, and it sort of came, and that's how it made its way into the play.
That's quite impressive, though. That's quite impressive that you handled that. Arklow says to you, he thought Nothing Personal was a decent Troubles film, telling a story from the loyalist side.
I look into that. So
we can't have in Scrubs fall out. We can't be having this. So yeah.
I'll definitely.
Let's not mention it again, eh?
Yeah, no, I'll have a look into that and see if I can find it. But it's.
Has anyone seen that movie I'm talking about? The Wind That Shakes the Barley. It's something like that. Let me just check I've got it right. Wind Shakes Barley. I've farted twice. Have you heard them? Has anyone heard the two sneaky farts I've let out? It's quite embarrassing. I'm getting old, man. They just... me ain't... Oh, no, there you go, Arklow. There's the problem, isn't it? There you go. Another communist. Fucking hell. I mean, I did watch it, and it was, that makes, because, oh my days, that's answered so many questions, because Land and Freedom by Ken Loach, about when the Spanish communists came to England and said, we need people to come and fight the fascists in Spain. It's so romantic. You can't help but watch it and Yay, up the commies. And
Oh.
that was what The Wind That Shakes the Barley was like. You know,
Here,
I was
Chris-
watching that and I was sold.
Did you ever hear what happened to the Irish Brigade that went out to fight the commies in Spain?
I do not know, no.
No, oh fuck, this is great.
Oh, they went out to fight with or fight the communists.
No, fight with the commies.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
and
So
they made a whole big thing about this Irish Brigade that went out, and it turns out that the food disagreed with them, so they basically had the shits the whole time they were there. The leader of it stole the payroll, and they fought 0 battles and were sent home in disgrace.
Your missus says I should have blamed the farts on you because you're always farting.
Yeah, well, this is true. I have stood on a frog or 3.
Billy, I can't ask that now because it's too heavy, but I had 42 on as a guest and we went into this stuff into some detail. So if you find the interview with 42 stream, there's like a couple of hours where we talked about all of that stuff. I mean, you know, 42's lived it. I wouldn't want to give him that question at the moment.
Yeah, Billy, that's about a half-hour question answer on its own. There's lots of facets that.
And a half-hour question to anyone else is about 2.5 to 42. So you know, it's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning here. I'm going to let you go because I've just noticed it is 10 to 4. I'm not going to stay up. I get scared going to bed when my missus is out because if she gets in a spot of trouble, but at the same time, I can't stay up all night again. I did it last night. I've got to have words with her. I've got to have words with her.
You must make comment. You must make comment in that danger. Get that house bought. Get that house bought. Get her out of the province. Get her knocked up, and all this issues around drinking and going out's gone.
You know what? That's what she said. I know that's a joke, but that is what she said because I said to her, listen, I can't be having a missus who's drinking as much as you are. Now, the weird thing is she only drinks like 4 or 5 drinks because she's tiny. But she said to me, I'm bored. She said, you know, you've got loads of things on the go. She says, I haven't. I live in your house. I've said to her it's ours, but, you know, this is all my stuff. You know, she goes to the gym. But you can't go to the gym every day because you're not meant to. You're meant to have a day off. And so she'll say to me, do you want to go to a restaurant? Do you want to go for a walk? And I'll say, no, I'm doing YouTube or I'm doing an interview. I'm going to do some writing. And that's when she pops off to see her mates. And, you know, these are the province people are essentially the Cambodian working class people. And if there's not much to do, they tend to drink. But it's also an age thing. You know, when I was 24, I could count my sober days on my 8th. I was never sober as a young man. What are you going to do? Eh? Pros and cons of a young girlfriend. Unloved Otto says.
On that note, I'm going to...
Go on, say it again.
Yep. On that note, I'm going to skedaddle. Emma G's getting close to finishing work. She's going to phone me on her way home. And hopefully your missus arrives home shortly and everything's good. And really great talking with you again.
It's always a pleasure, 42. Look after yourself and look after Emma.
Will do. Thank you.
Take care, mate. Ta-da!
All right.
42, eh? It's... I feel so ignorant around the whole Irish thing, the whole island, you know, and Rags, bless him, sent me so much stuff. And I watched a lot of it, but, it's complicated. It is complicated. And then I've had other people say it's not complicated when you think about it. And I'm like, well, that's not what Ian Paisley told me. And it's funny though, isn't it? you know, as Artglow said then, they're putting up a new painting tomorrow, and these communities have got organisations that are politically active. And that's not that we're not allowed to do that in England. We're not allowed to have organisations that promote our self-interest. Native English people aren't allowed to do that. You're not allowed. I just farted again. It might be the old knee up. Knee up? You can't blame farting on having a knee up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Yes, no. Sinn Féin was always a communist party. That's always been the case. I know that much. Yeah, I was much surprised to know. I was more surprised to know they still were. I've got to stop talking about this. I start getting the shivers. Yeah, it's funny, but I'm terrified. People is, I think, Willow, I think you're right, which is why I get a little bit shy when I talk to 42 and Rags and the like, because, you know, they know it inside out, and I don't. You know, it's there's not many things I won't have an opinion on, but that one I'm ignorant is what I am on it. Thank you, Anglo, that you've kept that the rather tired cogs of this stream going, but 2.5 hours. It's 5 to 4 in the morning. Fuck it, I'm going to sleep. I'll leave the phone on. If she needs a lift home, she can get a tuk-tuk. Thank you, Anglo. Thank you to everyone else who donated. Packer and Billy, essentially. And Alan, of course. And Mrs. Me in it, of course. And Martin Davis, of course. Let's play. What should we play? First person to suggest something, I'll play that. I do like a phone in, though. I do, especially, you know, a night in on my own. I don't get to talk to a lot of English-speaking people, so streaming's lovely and the phone-ins are great, you know. That's why I'm happy to talk about pretty much anything. I don't know whether that's great entertainment for you. Don't forget, people, get on a Substack if you're not on it. Give reading a go. Vart! And nice one, Rags, have it. British Dragon wants Ireland Boys. Mandom, we had Mandom just the other day, and they keep threatening to hoof me off with it. I think we'll go for, it's not going to be the Island Boys, that's for sure. Someone else said something that, we'll play a bit of Bally G. I think that's fair. We'll play, I know the one we'll play. Fart! Packer says another one. Cheers, Chris. See you all later, Scrubs. Ta-da, people. I'm going to go here. I'm going to sit and play. I'm going to learn that Mazzy Star song. I need a capo. I'll probably pick one of them up out here. The amount of times I'd go to learn a new song. I'm really trying to learn some songs from other people. I mean, Wasp in a Bowl of Blood, it's not a party classic. But I keep going to these chords and lyrics sites, and it's like capo on a third. I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Does anyone know you can improvise a capo? Elastic band and a bit of dowel or something? Anglo knows exactly where I'm going. That was exactly where I'm going. Good call. That was where I was going. That's a fucking, excuse my language, but that's a fine guess, man. That's an absolutely amazing guess. And a good call as well. People, thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks to Rags and Steve for looking after the place. Thank you all for choosing this stream over the other very good options. Don't forget, me, Toller, Rags, not Rags, sorry, Rags. Me, Toller, and Horace. It's a new free header, probably one every 3, 4, or 5 weeks. Not scheduled, just like the Three Stooges. Entertainment, culture more than politics, but you know, it will overlap, I'm sure, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I tell you what, you know, you ask people these things, sometimes they say no. And that would have been shocking because I had a really good chat with Toller the other night, and me and Horace talk all the time on Telegram, and they both, Toller said, yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon you've asked. And Horace was like, yeah, so lovely. And then we talked about breasts. You can never stop. You know, if you've got, you get on with someone if you can get straight into talking about boobs. There's nothing wrong with chatting about boobs, is there? The three-headed hydra of hate. Well, Tyler came up with one earlier, but then he explained to me that it was based on some fascist slogan. I said, yeah, no, he suggested it, and in the same message told me not to use it. So, there you go. Thanks. That's very kind of you. That's very, very kind of you. Bless you all. I've really enjoyed it. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Thank you, Alan. Very, very kind. Yeah, love you too, man. Bless you. I hope you have a cracking weekend. Don't forget, people, it is the weekend. If you are working, it's still the weekend. It's still nice when it's Saturday, isn't it? I'll be working tomorrow. I think my missus is going to the provinces tomorrow, and that's when I will get my novel. I'm not even joking. This isn't bullshit. As soon as she goes to the province, I am going to take a few days off work and get it done. Because it's got to be out before Christmas. And if it ain't out before Christmas, I've got to leave it till the following Christmas. No. I ain't having any of that lark. I'm still talking, and I don't want to go, do I? This is obvious. How long ago did I say see you later at 42? I'm still here. It's ridiculous. Thank you, Alan. A pleasure. Right, here we go. This is Bally G and Cold Hard Steel. I will be streaming tomorrow, definitely. And if the missus does go to the provinces tomorrow, she reckons she's going to drive my scooter there. It's 2 hours away. And I said, look, I don't mind you wrecking my scooter by driving a city runaround on a 2-hour cross-country. My worry is that something on it fucks up and she's stuck out in the middle of nowhere with no signal. She just looked at me and went, and then I remember the life she's had, the things she's had to deal with, and yeah, I'm sure she'll be fine. Ludwig, you cheeky last minuter. Nice to catch a bit of a live stream. Here's some more taxi tokens for Mrs. D. Just as I was telling you, she wants to ride the scooter, I said I'd pay for the taxi. But yeah, nice one, Ludwig. Appreciated. And on that note, Ludwig always reminds me of it. Sign up to my Substack because the first teaser for my novel is coming out. I've got a little bit of dialogue. There's a little situation, and it's the first ever bit of my novel I've made public. Terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. Thank you, Ludwig. And the reason Ludwig reminds me of it is because Ludwig should be a literary critic. Man, does he understand? Man, does he see what's going on? Now, I'm not taking anything away from anyone else, but when I write, I try and write intertextually. I try and write so that there's layers of things going on, and Ludwig spots them all, and it's like, how did he know that? On just how did he get that? And he does. Mrs. Minnick, when do you want me on? Menopause and robbery. Lol, bet you don't. No, I do. All right. I've got an interview for something else next week, and I've got Semi-Agog next week. I've got Jeffrey Sharler the week after that. The week after that. So 4 weeks away. So that's a month. So let's say about the 18th of next month. All right, let's pencil that in. Nearer the time, remind me. Thank you, Mrs. Me. Billy says I'm an intertextual. I am, yeah. But I know what you're saying, but I am, yeah. It's I write textually. You'll realise when you read my novel, you'll be thinking, but nothing's happening. But on levels you're unaware of, everything's happening. That's a bit of that's a terrible excuse, isn't it? I've got to get out of here. Ta-ta! Bally G, take it away, you dirty bastard. Here we go. Let me know you've got ODI.
Said you would. Tell your mama you're coming home. But you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel.
Sorry to pause the music, not something I usually do, but I've just seen Ray Surrealist say he's had a good chat with Dennis. And I speak to Dennis quite a lot, and me and Ray speak quite a lot, and they're two very, very good blokes, and it's nice to see the pair of them getting on. That cheered me up no end. Back to the music.
So when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel, because the wheels already been rolled. When you feel the enemy's cold hard steel, oh Lord. Do whatever they tell you to. Tell yourself it ain't really you. But when the slaughtering has begun, you'll be murdering someone's son. And you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Yes, you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord, hey.
Oh, it ain't over yet. For the hardcore who are hanging around, I'm going to play an household song that I don't think I've played before. I have played it before. Not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it's quite a nice song. It was about a bird that I left and wanted to get back together with. Like all of my songs are about, except for the other 90%, they're about skag. Cheers out.
When you see me glistening in the moonlight, when you see that baby we're alright, you feel alright. In the silly clothes and my
Cheers, Anglo, very kindly. Thanks for that entropy, Billy. No, there's no pride. There's none of that out here. No. Nice one for the donation fee.
That's all in between. I got a picture of the ghost queen. Her eyes are kind of pretty, yeah. Do me, can you do me? I got myself a toxic living rainbow, 6 and 1. 2 times 5 and plus 1. It's invisible sky.
There's loads of gays here, but they don't make crazy demands. Like most of the gays in the world, it ain't the gays that's the problem; it's the lobbies.
I stop thinking if she'll lose, I stop thinking I'm Slow down, you're gonna miss me, but you support me, drinks and kiss me. Yes, I am. Like birds that say. Like birds that say. Good feet, I got them cheap. Them up on the street. They're fine.
No, you're spoiling me, mucker. Nice one, Anglo. I'm gonna have to turn in after this one, though, mate.
That's good, that's really good. That's really, really good. That's good, really good. You're my favorite big love.
That was Household from 1998 with, oh God, with Fine. I got to go to bed. Look, I've just, I can't, I've run out of words. Go down your own end, I'll give you a clip round the ear. Hoita!